Ok, mi cielo, gracias. ¿Y ahora? ¿Me escuchan? Belleza celestial. Gracias, mi esposito Jackie. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, well, are we ready? We're gonna, I don't know if you remember last week, I think in the last week we finished in the portion that I was talking about the waiting room, that some people think that being single is like being in a waiting room, that you have to be waiting for somebody so you can have a partner and you can have a lover or whatever. Cynthia, do you remember what we talked about, what we finished? So every time that you had a concept, you had the idea that you need to be in a waiting room, waiting for somebody for you to have like I just said, a partner, somebody that you want to spend your energy, your time, your money, your creativity, all the good stuff about life. The problem with that is that the moment that you are expecting or depending that your happiness is based on somebody else, you are giving up and surrendering your will. Every time that you believe, that you feel, at any moment that you feel that your happiness depends on somebody else, then you are giving up your will, because you know that your happy does not depend of anybody or anything or any place. Your happiness is you happy because you're happy. You don't need a reason to be happy. I'm happy because I'm happy. You want to be happy? Be happy. But don't start projecting and expecting that somebody else is going to make you happy. If you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be for a moment, in a moment. But the constant happiness, that sense of joy, that sense of completeness within yourself. And the problem with that is that people say, oh, my better half. Oh, I found my better half. You don't have better half. People were not meant to be blended. You're not supposed to blend with somebody else. You're supposed to ascend and evolve. And when you ascend and you evolve with that person, then you become one. That's the difference. If you are, well, I'm not gonna go ahead, I'm not gonna stop. I mean, I'm not gonna jump because my minds go very fast. Okay, so people are not meant to blend in. People are meant to ascend, to evolve, to overcome ourselves, and nothing is gonna sabotage more that evolvement, that growth, than for you to get you develop a sense of emotional dependency. I'm in English or Spanish? I think I'm in English, right? Block. I should put the people who watches my thing is only people who follow me or I follow them. I have to learn how to do that in Instagram. So, okay, so we are not meant to blend in. We are meant to ascend, to evolve, to overcome ourselves, and nothing sabotages that ascent faster than emotional dependency. When you become emotionally depending on somebody else, you're in trouble, girl or boy. You're in trouble. Imagine that. Because once you emotionally you're emotionally depending on somebody else, then the sabotage, the control, it's just humongous, okay? So what happened that when you are emotionally depending on somebody else, most people don't realize that the reason you do that is because that relationship is not driven by love. No people think they fall in love. No, you fall in distraction. I fall in love. You gotta be careful. You fall in distraction. So, and that distraction is based about fear. That relationship is not about love. That relationship is about fear to be alone, about fear of failure, fear of not being enough, unless someone else confirm that to you. So a lot of time people go into relationships not because they are ascending and they are evolving and they are growing and they're overcoming themselves, and they get engaged, they entangle in a relationship that is not very healthy. You know why it's not healthy? Because you're not healthy. You getting there's two people that are broken. They get together and they think it's gonna fix it. It's not gonna fix it. You got to work on yourself first. Um, Let me see if I have a beautiful quote from Nietzsche. I have a beautiful quote from Nietzsche that let me see if I can find it because I think it goes very appropriate for this moment. But anyway, I'm gonna continue. Okay, the quote will come. Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. Nietzsche says, I see I'm the type of person I don't give up. I'm the type of person that I wanna find something, I will go for it. I don't care. Oh man, but okay, let me see if I have it. One more try. Okay, let's go try. One more try. Okay. Self-discovery. We're gonna talk about, I'm gonna give you some points in which you can develop so you don't get in this type of destructive relationship repeatedly, continuously, all the time. Okay, so let me see. I don't see my quote from Nietzsche. Okay, I give up for now. Let me give it one more try in the front page here. No, I don't see it, but okay, let's keep on going. So some people believe that they fall in love. They go, I fall in love. No, you fall in distraction, which is a big difference because you're getting involved in a relationship that you have. You give up your will, you give up your power because you get into this kind of emotional dependency. When you emotionally depending on somebody else, or it's just don't I can't explain it. And these type of relationships are not relationships that are based in pure love. It's the type of relationships that are based on fear, fear of being alone, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. You think that somebody is going to make you feel better about yourself. That's an impossibility. Come off that cloud because that's not going to happen. And people are constantly looking for someone else to approve them. You don't need somebody else to approve you. You need the approval from you of who you are as a beautiful, amazing person, and the approval and the definition of how God sees you. Those are the two factors that you have to take into consideration in this life. How God sees you and how you see yourself, the mental picture that you have in yourself. And you know that you create a mental picture based on the type of thought and the type of talking that you use. Because what the mind contemplates, the body presents. You know, whatever you're thinking in your head, your body is going to So you don't need the approval of anybody else but yourself. And the way you get approval for yourself is you work on yourself. You work on the things like Carl Jung called these the shadows. Things that I don't like about myself, then I'm gonna work at it. If I don't have patience, I'm gonna work on my patience. If I don't have kindness, I'm gonna work on my kindness. If I don't have a sense of gratitude, which is very powerful to have success in life, then you practice gratitude. If you don't feel like you're in shape, then you start working out. Then how do you start? You start walking. The most amazing, beautiful thing that you can do every single day is to go for a beautiful long walk. And then you will see the difference. So when you do this, then you're not doing it because of love. You're doing it because of insecurity. And that's another big factor in relationships. Then people go into relationships because the sense of you feel that somebody else is gonna make you feel secure. And you engage in this relationship. Oh, if I don't get this one, I'm not gonna get anything better. You always can do better. You always can do better. You always can do better. Don't settle for a little thing. Go for the best, because when you feel that you are the best, you feel that you deserve the best. Okay? So don't settle for this. Don't go into those things based on your insecurities. Work on your insecurities. Uh, because another thing that it will happen when you get in those type of relationships, those type of relationships are no, it's a form of slavery. You're like a slave, but this you are a slave psychologically and emotionally. You're not a slave necessarily physically, but you become a slave physical, psychological, and emotional, because that person can manipulate you in any way or form. And there's people like that, people who like control, people who like to manipulate, people who like to feel that empower controlling another human being. And if you don't do your work and you become like a wimpy person, they're going to take advantage of you. But when you have a sense of confidence, a sense of security, a sense of that you know where you're going, you know what you are doing because you know where you're going, and you know where you're going because you know where you are doing. So you can switch it any way you want, because wherever you go, happiness appear. No, you're not looking for happiness. Wherever you go, happiness appear. Wherever success is always around you. You attract success. You feel good about yourself, and all those beautiful things are going to happen when you work on yourself daily, in a daily basis. So what happens is when you cling, when you're hanging on, when you attach, clinging, lingering with others, your identity become fragmented. You are a fragmented human being, and that is the most pathetic thing, is that when you are getting to this relationship and you become fragmented, then a lot of time people, to justify it, they feel that it's noble. That's not noble. They call it compromise. You have to compromise. No, you don't have to compromise. That's not noble, that you are a slave emotionally eh, and it's like and psychologically, because you have a person with you. That's not, they call it noble, they call it a compromise. I don't believe that you need to compromise. I personally, you can argue, we can discuss, we can argue, but I'm the type of person that I believe I don't need to compromise myself. And you know why? Because I am the only thing I got is me. I don't have money, I don't have anything. The only thing, I don't have a house, nothing, clothes, nothing. I cannot compromise myself because I am the only thing I have. So if you're going to go through life compromising yourself, good luck, because you will become fragmented in your own being, in your own self. And then what happens when you do that? You are exchanging, you trade your identity for comfort. You trade your identity for comfort. And that's not fun. And that is a very strong truth. Most people in a relationship they agree to be weak together. So a lot of people, I don't know. Okay, let me repeat this. Because a lot of people go into agreements and relationships, they agree to be weak together because that gives them validation. That makes them feel good. That may feel that they protect their own flaws. Instead of working on their shadows, like Carl Jung says, and Nietzsche, they come together, two broken human beings, and they justify that because they need to justify their delusion. They distract themselves from growth. Because when you do that, when you go into in a relationship that to looking for validation, looking for comfort, looking for identity, that is a delusion. You doing that because you're afraid to do the work of your personal growth. You are afraid to work on yourself. And this is the quote that I was looking from Nietzsche. He says, I'm going to paraphrase. He said that if you cannot sit in a room by yourself and feel complete, you have no business falling in love with somebody else. If you cannot sit in a room for a period of time by yourself, and you in that room, you feel whole and complete and happy within yourself. If you cannot do that, you have no business going out there and falling into destruction because you're not falling in love. People think, I'm falling in love. No, you're falling into distraction because you're not willing to do the work because you are here to evolve, to ascend, to transcend, to transform. That's the job. Then you find that perfection. You find the right people. You find the right person. So don't be afraid of growth. Don't fall into distraction, justifying yourself, justifying your flaws, so you can get together with somebody else that is worse than you are, that have more drama than you have, and there is two people with so much drama. They're two broken people. Two broken people. You know whole and complete. Am I going too fast? Solitude. So why people do this thing? The main thing why people are not willing to be single. Put it here, I'm marking here, but sorry, I have another point. Number one, because to be single is like a bad thing. No, to be single is fabulous because in that season in your life, you take advantage of doing the thing that I'm gonna tell you before we finish today. Okay, so they take the social stigma. It's just like a bad thing. Or you're single, something is wrong with you. No, if you're single, something is good with you because you are the type of person taking your time, working on yourself, being perfect, being the best version of yourself, and then you make the choice because you're making the choice based on your own decision. You're not making the choice based on what my grandmother or the society will tell you. And remember, if you have my book number 1, and the reason I talk about that, the books you need for today are book 1 and book 3. These are the two books that you need today. So book number 1, everybody has to have book number 1. You cannot follow me and you cannot learn about me if you don't have book number 1, because this is the foundation. And this is book number 3. It's about relationship, the relationship with yourself, the relationship with God, and then of course if you have the relationship with yourself and with God. Beautiful. This is you. This is God. And you connected with the divine. And then what happened? Here's the world. Then you have a perfect relationship with the whole world because you have the energy come from above. The energy comes like this. Okay. So you're going to have a beautiful, wonderful relationship. So number one, the society tells you that being single is a bad thing. And people look at you like you're weird. No, you're not weird. The weird is the people who think that being single is a bad thing. Single is beautiful. Now, another reason why people have that fear is because solitude. Oh, they don't want to be alone. They don't, la solitude. Oh, loneliness. I feel so lonely. I feel so lonely. Stop it. Stop the nightmare. You're never alone. If you're with yourself, you're never alone. And the people who are watching, who like themselves, who love themselves, you know that you're never alone. I'm never alone. I'm always with Josefina, the most amazing person in the world, and my friend Josefina. I love being with her. I love traveling with her. I love going to the gym with her. I love driving my music and my car and my thing and everything. Because when you are with yourself, when you love yourself, when you have a wonderful relationship with you, then you're not gonna say, you will never gonna say, I am afraid to be alone. How can you be alone if you're with yourself? Not only that, and then for the icing and the cake, and because God is with you always. He said, I'm always with you. I will never leave you or forsake you. So you don't want to like the company of God, which you should have it, because it's the best company that you can have besides yours. It's God. I mean, you get anything you want. You got miracles. You got solution. You protected. You provided. You, oh my God, you have wisdom. You got everything. You have everything when you do what I'm suggesting you to do. Solitude is not isolation. You're not alone. Solitude is a season of preparation. It's a season of preparation. So the people who are single, either because you never been married before, or because you got a divorce, or because you are in the season in your life right now that you are single, use that time as a time of preparation. Preparation is not isolation. It's not a time of, it's a time of solitude with your amazing self. When you with yourself and you get to connect yourself, and that solitude is when your essence is born. In the times of solitude, when you take the time to be by yourself, you make that ritual every single day. Time alone. It can be walking. It can be quick a meditation. You work it out any way you want it, any way you can. But make that, because in those moments of solitude, the being, your essence, the self is born. So being single is not being alone. It's not isolation. You're not by yourself. It's a time of preparation. Preparation. Preparation for what? To become who to become who you supposed to be. Because what we are right now, what am I right now, is part of what I'm supposed to be, but I can be better. And you work every single day to be better. It's a preparation to become someone who doesn't need anyone. It's a time of preparation because you become the type of person that you don't need anyone. It's amazing that you can go in a relationship and you tell that person from day one, I don't need you, you don't need me. We are together because we choose to be together. Because you see, when you do that, because you're a person who has done the preparation, the growth, the contemplation, the meditation, the time alone. So the time of preparation, you become the type of person that you don't need anyone. You don't need anybody to make you feel worthy. You don't need anybody to make you feel worthy. You don't need anybody to make you feel cool. Anybody to make you feel pretty. But and you become the type of person that you don't searching, looking desperately, anxiously, looking for love. Love is inside of you. Look inside first and then project outside. Look around. How many people can say to be fine, no broken, if the relationship ended today? How many people you know that can say, if my relationships end today, I can be fine? Oh, Panther said that there's a study that indicates that single women with children are happier than other people. Absolutely, because what happened is singleness. Is that a word? Singleness. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing because it's just what I said. It's a time for preparation, and the type of preparation that when you with somebody else, it's not going to happen. But when you with somebody else, you're going to have to compromise time, energy, money, etc. Okay, so let me keep on going. But to get to there, okay, so that you don't need me, I don't need you. You need to spend time in the fire of your own mind. You need to spend time in the fire of your own mind. Español son los martes, mi cielo. Hoy es jueves, English. So, look around. Okay, so you have to spend time in the fire of your own mind to sit with your flaws. And this is a beautiful recommendation. Carl Jung, yeah, you have to recognize your flaws. You have to recognize I'm going to repeat this, what Carl Jung calls the shadows. And the shadows are the things about me that I don't like. And what Carl Jung says, that if you want to evolve, you want to transcend, you want to grow, then you need to face your flaws, your weakness, your shadow. And once you face them and you can embrace them, and you can move on. Remember, what you embrace, what you resist, persist. If you're continuously resisting your flaws, you stop. You don't want to work on yourself. What you resist, persist. What you embrace, transform. When you start embracing yourself, recognizing your flaws, working on them, doing what you can do about your flaw. I mean, if it is a flaw, that is a physical flaw. Example, let me give you a physical flaw. When I was younger, my mother was a nurse, and she used to work for surgeons, plastic surgeon doctors in Venezuela. So I was probably 9, 10 years old, very young. So my mom felt, of course, she's working with doctors, doing plastic surgery on people, blah, blah, blah. So my mom got a thing in her head that she would take a clothespin and she would put it in my nose like this. Those clothespins that for the clothes, when you hang in clothes, my mom will do this with me, and she will look at me and she put that thing here. So one day she takes me to the doctor. You're a young girl. Your mom takes you to the doctor. And of course, I was changing teeth. I was growing new teeth and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So my mom takes me to the doctor, plastic. So the doctor, wow, looks at me. He goes, I see. The doctor goes looking at me like curious, looking, what's wrong with this girl? And then he asked me a question and I smile. And the doctor look at my mom. This I'm telling you because then flaws cannot change and flaws that you can change. So the doctor looked at my mom and he said, you know what? Her nose is perfect. What you should do is wait for her to grow her tooth. From that moment on, my mom left me alone. She never did that anymore. But my nose is like that. I'm not gonna do plastic surgery in my nose because I don't have an issue with my nose. I'm okay. I love my nose. Okay, so but this is something that I was born with it. This is my nose. I'm not it. So the flaws that are no physical flaws, right? The color of your eyes, your nose, your genetic, whatever, you know what I mean. So the flaw that you can change, like your weight, your attitude, your thought, your thinking, your emotion, those things that you can improve, that you can change. Okay. Okay. So, how about that? Christina, with social media, everything fast paced, new expectation and future. Yeah, but you can't, Christina, say, I'm going to read it right in a minute. Okay, in a moment. Yeah, yeah, but you cannot live your life based on social media. You cannot live your life at your own pace. And we will talk about that. Okay. So in solitude, it's a precious time for transformation, and that is when the transformation happens. Is when you spend time alone. I don't like the word spend. When you invest time alone with yourself. Okay, so when you invest in time alone, there is no place to hide. Nobody to impress. This is the beautiful thing when you by yourself. When you by yourself, you take the mask off, right? You take the mask because you go out there or you're in social media, like Christina saying, people have a mask. They can't impress somebody. So when you by yourself, there is no place to hide. There is no what you don't have to impress anybody. Eh, you don't need any safety net. You're right there, just you with your shadows and your potential. You have the shadows, the thing that I don't like about you don't like about you, and your potential. And that pressure chamber, you either in that pressure chamber, you either break, become something unshakable. See, when you do that, when you take the time to work on yourself, you become somebody unshakable, indestructible, invincible, powerful. But it's not because you have to show that to the world. No, this strength, this power, this sense of confidence and power is yours. Nobody has to know because this is something you work on yourself. My power, my energy is mine. I know how much power, how much energy I have. It's mine. I cultivate that every single day. And this is one of the gifts to stay single. If you're single, this is one of the gifts that you have. That you can work on yourself, that you go in solitude, and that I'm gonna repeat a little bit. And that solitude, because I think it's very important, and that solitude is when transformation happens. And solitude is where transformation happens because there is no place to hide. You don't have you can't hide. You are with you cannot run. You know what? Wherever you go, there you are. Remember that book? Wherever you go, there you are. You cannot hide from yourself. Okay, wherever I go, Josefina goes with me. No one to impress. When you by yourself and your solitude at home, alone in your room, you don't have anybody to impress. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, Mommy, Papi, let's work. Let's work on ourselves. Let's work on what we need to do. Okay. There is no safety net. Nobody's gonna hold you. Nobody's gonna save you. Just you. Your chaos, your potential, and in that pressure chamber, you either break or you become something unshakable. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna break or you're gonna become something indestructible? It's up to you. This is the gift for staying single. When you have anybody next to you consuming your time with a distraction because it becomes a distraction, you have time to build your values. without distraction. Time to identify what matters to you. This is advantages of being when you're single. Okay, no matter what. But you can use this even if you're in a relationship right now. This doesn't exclude the people who are in a relationship, because you are in a healthy relationship, in a beautiful, healthy relationship. You can do this, because what happens when you do this single, and this single person that got married, they're happy. But you know what? You know what I mean, right? Because you do this now, and then of course you're gonna be this, even if you are in a relationship. Because no matter what, you need to identify what matters to you. No matter what, you in a relationship, you need to identify what matters to you, what is important to you. Because if you are in a relationship and what is important to you and what matters to you is ignored and it's throwing out of the window, I mean, you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna be a frustrated person. You're gonna be an unhappy person. You're gonna be the type of women and people who write to me saying, "I don't know what happened to me. I love myself. I don't know what happened to me. I used to be different." You know what? Because people in a relationship, because they haven't done their growth, they haven't done what I'm telling you to do today and last week, then they get into the mess. But if you do the work, you're gonna be in a beautiful, beautiful, amazing, wonderful relationship, a godly relationship. You need to identify what matters to you. You don't need, because what happens, because if you don't do that, somebody else will write it for you. If you don't identify what matters to you, somebody else is gonna do it for you. And they're gonna tell you, "Oh, this is good for you. This is what you should do." You know people like that. You probably have experience with people like that. If you don't have your priorities clear, if you don't have your values clear, somebody else is gonna write it for you. Especially if you're in a relationship that the person likes to be in control and empower. So you gotta be careful. You have to be careful. Time to know yourself without needing to. You need a time for yourself that you don't have to be looking at somebody else and somebody else's eye. "Oh, I love you so much. I'm willing to do anything to lose myself." The greatest mistake that you can do is to lose yourself in somebody else in the name of love. That's pathetic. And that's what people do. "Oh, I love him so much." And you lose yourself. That's not love. That's dependency. That's toxicity. That's a stupidity. You don't need to be looking into somebody else's eye to feel whole and complete. You feel whole and complete because you are whole and complete because you work on yourself every single day. Hi, Michelle. Most people don't give themselves that chance. Most people don't give themselves the chance. So mother, I give myself the chance to be single and to achieve my goals, my values, my dream, papa pum, papa pow. When I was in my 20s, in my culture, and you know the story if you follow me for a while, but I'm going to repeat it because it's a good example of how the society and how you know, by you not having the wisdom of your values and what is important to you, you fall into distraction. My grandmother wanted me to get married when I was 20. She said, "How long are you going to go to school for? How long are you going to study?" Because I got my first degree, and then I was going for my second degree, and then I was planning on going my master's degree, going overseas, and telling my family I'm going overseas, and we didn't have any financial resources. That was funny, right? That was like, "Well, she's not going to do it. How's she going to do it, right?" But nobody knows the power of your dream, the determination, and your ambition. When you have the dream, when you have determination, and you have ambition, it doesn't matter if you have money, don't have money, if you know anybody, if you speak the language, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're gonna be successful because you know what you want and you know what you are doing. And those are the three things that is gonna help you a lot. So my grandmother was very insistent that I needed to get married. I know I wanted to study. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to study. But in her mind, to be single, in my culture in the 60s, it was no good. It was no good. She would tell me like an old man was too ugly. And I didn't argue with my grandmother because the Lord has blessed me from the time I was born with wisdom. for me, no wisdom for somebody else, but with wisdom for me, I knew that that was not my destiny. I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that I wanted to go to school. And I let my grandmother talk. And this is the thing that you can do. You can let people talk. You can let people in social media talk. You can let anybody say whatever they want to say. Well, like Jesus Christ told Peter, what is it to you? When Peter came gossiping to Jesus in the last chapter of John, Jesus looked at Peter and said, what is it to you, Peter? What is it to you? So think about that. Find things that you empower yourself mentally that you can respond in a very creative way to the stupid people, the people that think, oh, you need to get married, oh, you cannot be single. What's wrong with you? When are you gonna marry? Are you still single? Oh, and they do it with this kind of intonation, like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? No, baby, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm in the season of preparation. I'm in the season of evolving and transforming and creating. Ha ha. Pow. Wow. But society, and then what happened? People immediately fall into destruction. Let's call that fall into destruction, not fall in love. Okay. So most people don't give themselves the chance to be single. And that's the example that I gave you about in my case with my grandmother. Because they are terrified. See, thank God I wasn't terrified. Afraid. I wasn't. I had so much. I had so much fun going to school, and I had so much fun having my dream. And my dream, because when you have dreams, you don't have time to, you know what, to waste. You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to listen to things that doesn't make sense to you because you believe in your dream. You believe in your goal. If you are single and people make you feel like you are behind, remember this: you are not behind, you are ahead, because you are doing what most people are scared to do, to become whole. Isn't this beautiful? Okay, this is beautiful to have material for you to handle your singleness. When people So if you are single, and I think this is from Nietzsche, if you are single and people make you feel like you are behind, remember this, sweetie pie, you are not behind. You are ahead because you are doing are scared to do to become whole. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. To become whole, and you become whole when you face what? You face what? Carl Jung? Somebody, this is a question. To overcome what? Carl Jung. You face your shadows. You face your shadow. So don't be afraid to become whole. Stop attracting chaos. When you are whole, when you're a whole person, you don't have drama. You don't have, see, when you're a whole person, you don't have, this is beautiful. I don't have drama. I don't. Because number one, I associate with very few people. Very few. Maybe less than this. Okay? Because when you associate with people, they have their drama and they impose that negativity on you. Number two, I don't watch the scary box. I don't watch TV. I don't watch the scary box. Everything is negative. I don't associate. I don't put that in my mind. I don't need the type of information. If I need some information, I go right to the source, straight from the horse mouth. So when you become whole, when you work on your wholeness, when your wellness, then you stop attracting chaos. You stop tolerating mediocrity. Tolerate mediocrity. The opposite. You identify mediocrity like pow. You know exactly you don't want that. You know exactly that's not what you're looking for. That is not what's gonna make you feel better, good, and improve yourself. You stop settling for relationships that drain you. You don't hang around people who drain you. In a libro, in one of the book, in one of the in my Bible, in the Apostle Paul, in one of his books, I don't know if a Galatian or one of his books, he talks about that. He talks about companionship. He talks about not hanging out with the slackers. Don't hang out with people who are lazy. Don't hang out with people who always criticizing, condemning, and complaining. Don't hang out with people who always want a free lunch. All that is in one of the books of Paul in your Bible. You can look at, check it out, and you see that he gives you a list of people that you don't need to associate with mediocrity. You don't need to associate with people who drain you. You don't need to associate with people who only have chaos and drama, because you no longer need to be in it. You don't need it. You don't need the drama. You become something stronger. You become someone who can choose love freely and not as an escape or as a gift. So all that you are doing when you're working in your singleness, okay? So you don't attract chaos. You don't attract drama. You don't tolerate mediocrity. You're not settling with a relationship that drain you. You don't attract people who emotionally and mentally drain you. You don't need. And the reason why you don't attract this stuff is because you're stronger. And when you're stronger, you don't attract it because you don't have nothing in common with them. You have nothing in common with them. There is nothing in them that belongs to you. They have no power over you, and they have an enforce, a claim. They don't have a claim over you. Okay? So, and this is what happened. Love is presented to us as a disguise. What the world presents to you is not true love. Okay, that is what the world. And I think I talked about last week the love that people believe in society believe is the love based in the movies, in the song, the music. Let me go back to page 1. So we had it. We talked about last week, but it's just a refresher. So, okay, so this is why people believe in this love that is not real love, because of the society, the idea of romantic love is full completion. Romantic love is not full completion. Get it in your head. Get it in your head. Romantic love is not full completion. Full completion is when you work on yourself and you complete, and then you don't fall in distraction. There you loving somebody who is in alignment with your values and what matters to you. But if you getting into relationship with people that are not in alignment with your values, what you believe, what is important to you, and you are doing this based on what the media say, the movies say, the music say, the narrative constantly telling you, oh, falling in love. No, that's false. That is not real. That is, and you see that it's not real because you see the level of divorce and unhappy people, and people that are in relationships either for convenience, for comfort, or because it's a transaction, whether it's a transaction, financial transaction, whether it's an emotional transaction, whether it's a physical transaction, but it's a transaction. It's not love. Love doesn't go that way. Go in Corinthians. I think it's Corinthians 1 or 2. What's love? Looking for the definition of love. It's amazing. They don't love, they want control. They want control. But people don't admit it. They don't want to admit it. That it's all about control. They want somebody who will fit into their role. They want somebody who fit into the role of control and manipulation. Imagine somebody who validates you, then divorces you. This is not funny, but it's funny, okay? Somebody who validates you and then divorces you. Can you make sense of that? I don't think so. I was asking the other day a question to one of my clients because she's been married for 30 years, and then they're getting a divorce. And now the fight is between who gets what. So she wants alimony. He doesn't want to give her alimony. After she that's spending time for 30 years. Now he's fighting her because he doesn't want to give her alimony. He doesn't want to give her child support. It's unbelievable. It's a piece of crap. Because for somebody, you wasted 30 years because that's a waste of time. But you know why that happened? Because you didn't do the job. You got into a relationship probably too young. You weren't mature enough. You weren't clear of your values and what matters, what is important to you. And you jump into this relationship. And now 30 years later, the guy doesn't even want to give you child support. Give me a break. Give me a break. That makes sense? That doesn't make sense to me. Something is wrong. And I believe, in my opinion, what is wrong is that we don't prepare ourselves. It's like me. I want to compete, but I don't train. I want to compete. Yeah, I can probably put a bathing suit on. It will look ugly because, if I'm not in shape, the bathing suit is not going to be very pretty. But you can say, I'm going to compete, but you don't do the work. Oh, I want to know God, and you don't do the work. Oh, I want to write books, and I don't start writing. And remember, the books that you need for today are book number 1 and book number 3. Those 2 books. If you don't have book number 1, shame on you. And you want relationship, get book number 3. Okay? So let's keep on going because I'm going to be closing very quickly, very soon. Okay, let's go. Okay. You don't need somebody to validate you. You validate yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you you're pretty. You get up in the morning, you look at yourself, and the mirror say, hello, beautiful. What can I do for you today? That's me. Okay? I get up in the morning because I slept so well. I look at myself, and I said to myself, praise the Lord, thank you, baby Jesus. I look so gorgeous. My skin looks beautiful. When I woke up in the morning, I look like I'm 20 years old because the skin is amazing. Okay? So I get up in the morning, do my prayer, my meditation in my bed. Then that's a part of the ritual. Then once I put my knees on the floor, because I'd never put my feet on the floor, I put my knees. I started my day in humility, in the presence of the Lord. Go in the bathroom, look at myself in the mirror, and I said to myself, hello, beautiful. What can I do for you today? How about you? How do you start your day? How do you start your day? Okay, let me keep on going so I can take a break and answer your question. But I have to give you. Okay, I'm gonna mark here part 3. Maybe next week if you're interested. I finished part 3, but I'm gonna give you the points. And part 3, we don't have to finish it, but it's good stuff. Let me see if I see because it's so much. It's so beautiful. Oh man, it's so beautiful. Let me see. Oh, here is a quote from I got a quote from Nietzsche. Nietzsche, the German philosopher. Nietzsche says, until you can sit alone in a quiet room and feel complete, you have no business giving your heart to anyone. I repeat. I love teaching. I don't know if you noticed, but I love teaching. Anybody notice that? I want your feedback. Can you tell that I love teaching and I'm very good? And also, I recognize that I'm very good. Because I like to teach myself. I mean, you know what I mean? I like to have teachers like me. I like to have teachers like me. I like to have sisters like me. I like to have moms like me. If I want to have a mom, I want to have a mom like me. If I want to have a sister, I want to have a sister like me. If I want to have a friend, I want a friend like me. Really, honestly. But it's because I work on myself. I know my weakness, and I know my pettiness, and I know my greatness. And my greatness are greater than my pettiness. He that is within me is greater than he that is in the world. You know that? Okay. Until you can sit. Christina, thank you. Yeah, Christina, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for giving me the feedback, because I know it, but it's nice to think. Yeah, be there. Thank you. Okay, listen. Until you can sit alone in a quiet room, no radio, no TV, no music, no telephone, no cell phone, no iPad, no computer, alone. It's just like what Jesus said. When you're gonna pray, you go in your room, close the door. The same for here. That's when Jesus talked, the apostles asked him, Lord, show us how to pray. And then Jesus said, when you want to pray, you go in your room, you close the door, and you pray. So, until when you're going to give your heart, when you're going to fall in distraction, if you don't want to fall in distraction, if you don't want to fall in distraction and you want to fall in love, don't fall in love, be in love, not falling. We don't want to fall. Although when you fall forward. But you don't want to fall. No, we don't want to fall. Okay, I'm going to finally, until you can sit alone in a quiet room and feel complete. You can go in a quiet room for 3 minutes, 3 seconds, or whatever, 15 seconds. But you need to, and you feel complete. And feel complete. You have no business. Listen to this and follow it and do it and practice. You have no business giving your heart to anyone. Because if you do, you won't be in love. You will not be offering love. You will be offering, I need you and you need me. And that is called dysfunction. Dysfunctional. Dysfunction. Two people clinging to each other because they haven't done their inner work. Two people clinging to each other because they haven't done the inner work. And this is part of the problem with the client. I mentioned it to you, that the guy doesn't want to give her a part of the benefits of being with him 30 years, because they clinging in those 30 years, they will clinging to each other. When you cling to other people, because you haven't done the work. Because if you hold, you don't cling. If you hold, you don't cling. You don't have the sense of dependency. If you leave me, I'm going to die. No, if you leave me, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be greater than ever. I'm going to be more gorgeous, more beautiful, more powerful. Okay, point. Dysfunction. Two people expecting the other to fix their wounds, their hurts. And then society romanticize dysfunction. Society make it dysfunction. They're together. One of the quotes that I always rejected, talking about dysfunction and two broken people connected because they haven't done the work. Remember, you heard this before. That quote, people will say, "Oh, I'm gonna gonna grow old with you. We're gonna grow old together. That thing always kind of bothered me. I don't want to grow old with you. I don't want to grow old with anybody. I'm gonna grow strong, powerful, more beautiful. This thing, we're gonna grow old together. I think it's pathetic. I don't want to grow old with anybody. Absolutely not. And when you have a mentality, entonces what happened? People in their 50, they have to grow old. So because they have a mental picture of growing old, because I have to grow old with this guy, and the guy doesn't have any discipline, the guy eats like a pig, you eat lousy, and he has a big belly and it's obese, and I do the same thing because I'm following him. I'm eating exactly the way he's eating, and then I'm growing old with this person. Hell no. I don't want to grow old with anybody. I'm gonna go gorgeous, more beautiful, more powerful with me then. I don't that, and this is what society does. The dysfunction to people and dysfunction. They romanticize this thing. The point is that you haven't done your work, because when you do your work, you're full and complete within yourself. You go into the perfect relationship because two people together are whole, and this is what you don't have to rush. I didn't rush with if I would have followed my grandmother advice, and at that time I had a boyfriend. Well, I had a boyfriend that I didn't like him, but I said he was courting me because basically because of my family, because they wanted me to get married. So we got engaged. We got to the point we got engaged. Let me calm down. Praise the Lord. So I got engaged with this guy named Achille. And the thing with Achille, in the 60s, in my country at that time, the military was the high class, okay? So I used to park my car, and the military, we used to be close to across the street from a military base. So I asked permission to park my car in their parking lot, because I was afraid that the bad people will destroy my car. So anyway, I used to go pick up my car in the morning, go to school, So that's how I met Achille. So he liked me, and so we started kind of dating, but dating that the most it was the touching your hand, because it's just like I was into my study. So anyway, so we got engaged, pictures and everything, and permission to, because the military. What I was going to tell you, it was the thing to do, because you will go to the military club, you will marry to a military, you're the wife of a military, you will shop in the military shopping center, you will go to the parties. It was like a high class thing. It was the thing to do. It was seen very well, like you do well. If you married that way, you did it well. Oh my God, crap, okay, in my head. It reached the time that Achilles looking for the place we're gonna move in when we get married. So he goes and takes me to this beautiful neighborhood in Caracas, which is a high class, okay? Rich people live in this neighborhood, high class. So high intake, money, money people. So we go to see the beautiful apartment. Wow. As soon as he opened the door of the apartment, I had a vision that if I marry that guy, he will either kill me or I will kill him, because he was very possessive and very controlling, a military guy. I had a vision that if I married that guy, if he didn't kill me, I will kill him. Immediately, I called it off. I said, no. And that's why wisdom is when you listen to your intuition, because part of the wisdom is wisdom is based on the word of God, also in your life experience. What is it that you want, your values, the thing that matters to you? And I saw it. I saw the vision that if I marry Achille, he will kill me or I kill him. So that is when you really have to be dealing with yourself. So I call it off. Okay. Cristina Gomez. Yes, thank you, Cristina. Okay. Greta, I love you. Okay, let me give you now few points that is the benefit of being single, no matter what in what season of singleness you find yourself. These are the points that you need to work on. Number one, your time management. Solitude is not an empty space. It is an open field where you can plan anything you choose. And that's a beautiful thing. When you're in a relationship, you always compromising your time. And I don't have to give you example because it's constantly. If you're going to schedule something, you have to be thinking about the other person. When you're single, you have the freedom to come, to go, to you want to do this at this time. You you want to sleep, you want to get up, you want to go to the refrigerator, you want to turn the light on, you don't want to watch a movie, you want to watch a movie. So time. One of the benefits of being single is at time. So use your time. Use your time in a very wise way. No one is free until you master yourself. And that's what that time is. No one is free until you master yourself. If you don't master yourself, you're going to be in slavery, psychological slavery, and emotional slavery. So you need to manage your time, and that time is no empty space. It's a wide open field where you can plan anything you choose. No one is free until you master yourself. You need to be in control of your time. You have to stop other people for taking control of your time. And one of the things that I learned in life, people don't respect your time, your energy, and your money. Those three things, okay? People don't respect your time. You have to be I'm very protected with my time because my time is it's priceless. So you have to be very, very protected with your time. And that goes with anybody. Go with anybody. And sometimes your family, because it's a family member, and they assume that you have time for this and you have time for that, and you reach certain stage in life, and now you have to do this and you have to do that. No, you are the one in control of your time. You're the one who masters your time. Time doesn't master you. You master time. Time doesn't control me. I control my time. But that's why I don't get old, because I'm in charge of time. Time is not in charge. It's time. No, it's not time. You're in control of time. And this is another thing that we have backwards. And people think time is in control. No, time is not in control. You're in control. Time doesn't control me. I control time. Take that. I want to hear your opinion. I like to have a discussion. Okay, let me move on so we can have some questions. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. I don't want you to take it like, oh wait, no, don't take it. Let's talk. Okay. Number two. Okay, so time number one. Control your time, manage your time. Nobody respect your time. Take that very clear. No one respect your time. If you somebody that you are, I used to have a people to work out with in the beginning, 20 years ago, and the person will go and they show up late. We're supposed to meet at the gym at 10 o'clock, 10:10, 10:15, 10:25, 10:30. And remember, because I'm a teacher, I was trained that the teacher waits for the student, but the student doesn't wait for the teacher. I'm always on time. And that's why you see me always being on time or a little bit earlier, maybe sometimes too early, because I'm ready. I'm a freaking teacher, so I'm always on time. So what happened, the people that was going to train with me, late. Late. Oh, something happened. Well, anticipate. You have to be someplace at 10 o'clock. Then leave the house at 9:30 or 9:15. Give yourself time. But anyway, I used to get so upset. Man, I used to get pissed. Yeah, I used to get so, and then I learned, master yourself. I learned. Few times I got pissed. Because, I was expecting that person to be on time, because you think, because you're on time, everybody's on time. You think because I exercise, I'm assuming everybody exercises. So when somebody tells me, oh, I exercised today, I'm thinking, okay, what? That's your job. That's your responsibility. What do you want me to give you a trophy? You're supposed to work out. Anyway, I learned the person, we said, we're going to train at 10 o'clock. The person wasn't there. I started training. I started taking charge of my time instead of waiting for somebody to show up so I can start training instead of getting pissed, mad, angry because the person didn't show up on time. I start doing my workout. I was almost finishing my workout many times, and the person will come over. I say, oh, I'm always done. Oh, that's okay. And they learn. And that's why I train by myself. That's why I train by myself. But number one, nobody can keep up with me. Nobody, maybe Greta. Maybe Greta can keep up with me. I want to work out with Greta, my friend here on Instagram. Okay? But anyway, so number two, money. Money. Nobody respect your time, your energy, and your money. Money. When you're single, you manage your money. When you're single, you don't have to be spending money on somebody else. When you're single and you had a fight with a person, you have to buy a present. When you're single, you can go on vacation. You don't have to go on vacation. You can do this, you can do that. You manage your money. You can invest your money. You can beautify your money. You can do whatever you want with your money. And that's the time to save and to have a beautiful account and to have the things that you want. You don't have to be sharing your money with anybody. Then when you find the perfect person, then you have a beautiful account. You have a beautiful account. So money, you need to take responsibility for your money. No, you are single. Vacation, you can save money. You can go on vacation. You can invest your money. You can spend it the way you want it. You can go. Whatever you want to do. All the good stuff that you can do with money. Yeah, Christina, I'm always early. Exactly, baby. And you know why? Because I never know what's going to happen. I'm not going to, I'm going to leave the house. I have a meeting at 10 o'clock and I'm going to leave at 5 minutes of 10. No, because I don't know the traffic. Boom, boom, boom. You never know. Okay, so, the money, people stay in bad relationship because they depend on someone else for money. I had a client like that. When I said to her, boy, why don't you get divorced? She said, because of the money. I can't divorce him. She told me like that, because of the money. I said, okay. That's another client. Okay. Because, she's the money. So people stay in bad relationships. The thing is that are not good, they're bad relationships, because you have to be in a relationship for transaction, for convenience, for safety, for security. That's not good. Because the essence and the beauty of love and the companionship of the other person and the beauty of seeing somebody developing and growing and changing is not there because you're there because it's for your interest, because you're afraid. And fear is not good. Depending on somebody else because of the money, because you don't want to do that, because you are the type of person, when you work on yourself, you're the type of person, you have principles, you have values, you have your own money. You have your own beautiful, wonderful money. And you like it and you love it. I love money. I use it wisely, constructed, and judiciously. Money comes to me and multiplies in a wonderful way. I give up my talent freely, and I'm wonderful, blessed financially. It is wonderful. That's one of my affirmations. You can find my affirmations here in my canal, in my YouTube channel. I have beautiful affirmations in my YouTube channel. Go in the YouTube channel. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. It's my right to be rich, happy, and successful. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, free-flowingly, wonderfully. That's my affirmation about money. I love money. I love it. Okay? I love it. But it's not that the money, no, it's that idea that money is bad. God wants you to be prosperous. And God said, I give you the power to be prosperous. So God doesn't talk about being poor. Yes, okay. Number 3, self-discovery without distraction. Another advantage, another benefit that you have when you're single, and single no matter what, self-discovery without distraction. Know who you are and then dress accordingly. Know who you are and then dress accordingly. Being alone brings clarity. Look within. Think about what you want to be and then do what you need to do. That's beautiful. One of the benefits of being by yourself is self-discovery. Without this self-discovery, because when you're doing your self-discovery, you don't have any distractions. You don't have somebody. Oh, we have to do this and we have to do that. You gotta go shopping and you gotta go buy the. Can you go get some milk? Can you go? How can you grow? It takes more effort. I'm not saying it's impossible. The only thing I'm saying is very challenging. It's very difficult. But if you have the time, you're single, don't be complaining about, oh, I'm single. No, enjoy. Take advantage. Use a benefit from this amazing opportunity. It's a blessing. Singleness is a blessing. It's a blessing is from the sky. Self-discovery. Okay, so when you know who you are, you dress accordingly and you do what you want to do. Being alone bring another benefit of being alone, single, clarity. You can think clearly. I can see clearer now. The rain is gone. I can see clear now. The distraction is gone. Know who you are and dress accordingly. Alone, by being by yourself brings clarity. Look within. Think about this is very important. Think about what you want to be and then do what you need to do. Think about what you want to be and then do what you need to do. That clear? Clear. Number 4, so we can finish. 4. Oh, okay. Let me finish with this one. Okay, with self-discovery, start asking what you want, what you ask yourself what you stand for. This is important, okay? Because what you stand for, what are your belief system? Why, and that will allow you to stop drawing people that doesn't fit you, that people who doesn't, when you ask this question, what you stand for, you stop attracting to you people that are not in alignment with your values, okay? But, and you don't attract those people, but you start attracting people who recognize your strength. You start attracting to you people that recognize your strength, your values, and are in alignment with your belief system. You are not pretending to be lovable. You become it. You know, so much too many people pretending, too many fake, too many with a mask. Okay, you're not pretending to be lovable. You become it. You become love. You don't pretend. You are love. Wherever you go, love goes. Wherever you go, love appear. Wherever wherever love is, there you are. So beautiful. I can make things up like you don't have a clue. Creativity. Oh, I get chills. Trying to make a peace with everybody because you want approval, because you work on yourself. Freedom is the first step towards power. Freedom. You have to have the freedom to move, the freedom to think, the freedom to ask, and the freedom to be. You have to have the freedom from false identity. People wear a lot of masks in people in relationships, such as the perfect spouse, and then get divorced, doesn't want to give her anything. The entertainer, the caretaker, the rescuer. There is no mask when you're single. See, when you're in a relationship, people they play roles. The good dad, the good husband, the perfect wife, the great children. People have masks. But when you're alone, when you're single, you don't have any mask. Because there you are. You don't have you there by yourself. You don't have a mask. But when and this what happened, this developed a false identity. And then you lose yourself in that. You lose yourself in that. And number four, another benefit of when you're single, a mental peace, emotional stability. When you're single, when you're by yourself, you have mental peace and emotional stability. Because imagine when you with people, imagine when you with your friends, with your family members, at work, the chaos. Woo, 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 woo. You gotta work on yourself so you can be at peace no matter where you are. Okay? And you emotionally stable, meaning you don't react to anybody out there. You learn how not to react. And I think last week I mentioned to you in the video from last week how to not react. Okay. By the way, talking about reacting, if you find a better title for my videos, once I post them, let me know if you want me to change the title that you feel this is a better title for this video, okay? I'm open to that. So I love, because you look at it from a different perspective. I'm the creator, so. Building a strong, another beautiful thing with relationship, with single, that you build great friendship, you build great relationship. And from those relationships, you are in alignment with people who are like you, people who think like you, people who have the same values that you have. So that is more compatible of who you are. So that will bring, if there is a union that you decide later on, I want to marry that person, I want to spend my life with this person, then it's a beautiful, godly relationship. That's the whole point. Okay? You get to know your friends better. You share values. You have, okay, so that's relationships. Now, number six is the power of independence, to be independent. There is no, I don't think I have to explain that, to be independent. Independence means you do what you want to do. You be what you want to be. You set goals the way you want to set goals. You go where you want to go. You don't have to be telling or accounting and telling somebody, "Oh, I'm gonna go shopping. Oh, can I do this?" I have a client. Remember that client I told you that the wife only allowed him to play tennis once a week, and that has to do with his health. And my wife only allowed me to play tennis once a week. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You don't have the you know what to say to the person, excuse me, darling, excuse me, baby, this is my health. I need to exercise and train every day for vitality and balance. Sorry, baby. And the guy doesn't. He doesn't go. That will never happen to me. Nobody had the power to tell me you cannot work out. You cannot go to the gym. Or you're going to go to the gym once a week. Are you kidding me? What is that? Is that love? Is that love? And the exercise is benefiting the person, their health, and you playing with my health, and I'm gonna be quiet and let you play with my health? No, not gonna happen. Okay. And that is the end. No, number 7. Oh, this is beautiful. Let's finish with number 7. This is my favorite one. When you're single, when you have time alone, you have space to focus on your personal goals. That's what I could not get married when my grandmother was telling me to get married. How can I get married and follow my personal goals? To reach any goal, listen, to reach any goal, you need to be focused. If you want to reach any goal, you need to be focused. And to stay focused, you need to not be distracted every day. That is a quote from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher, in the book of his Meditations. He said, to reach any goal, you need to focus and stay focused. You need to not be distracted every day. You need to not be distracted every day because you're working on your goal every day. Focus on what you are doing right now with real and exact seriousness. It is almost impossible to pay that much attention when you have to deal with other people's demands, moods, expectations, and at all times. Listen, to reach your goal, you need to focus. To stay focused, you cannot be distracted every single day. You cannot be distracted, okay? Uh, when you focus on what you are doing right now, focus on what you are doing right now with real and exact seriousness. You need to focus on what you're doing now in a serious way. We don't set goals to be floundering. No, we know. We need to decide what we want to do, and we want to be serious and exact. It is almost impossible to pay that much attention, and it's impossible to pay all that attention to your goal when your attention has to deal with other people's demands. People are demanding on you, demanding your time, your energy, your money. Do this, do that, come over here, come over there. You can study, you can do your thing. The mood, people's demands, people's mood. He's angry. He's hungry, angry, mad, upset, whatever. See, I don't have a vocabulary for that because I don't use that. I don't go in that world. I don't live in that world. My world is happiness. People have expectations. When you're in a relationship, they have expectations about you. What was the expectation of my grandmother that I needed to get married in my 20s? That was her expectation. It wasn't mine. I had to live by my expectation. So you have to live by your own expectation, regardless. That guy that I just told you, he should tell his wife, I'm sorry, baby. I know you love me so much, but I love myself more. And because my health is important to me, it matters to me, I'm going to work out every single day or 4 times a week. But not once a week. What kind of training can you get once a week? You need to exercise and train every day for vitality and balance every freaking day. If you want vitality and balance, you work out every single day. So you don't have to deal with other people's demands, expectations, their mood, whether they're happy. And so when you're single, you don't have any limitations. No limitation. You can do. That's what happened to me. I can focus in my English. I can focus in my school. You know what I mean? And that's all you do. And it's exciting and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And it makes you such a happy person. You don't have any limitation. You put your goals in the center of your life. Exactly. You put your goals in the center of your life. And see, when you're happy and you got your thing together, you have your life together, then you can fall in love with somebody, because you don't fall in distraction, because you complete, you work on yourself. You come in almost perfect and you continue working because there's always room for improvement. So you put your goal, and let your goal, you put your goals at the center of your life. You gain emotional stability. You learn how to be in the present moment. You learn how to appreciate every moment. You need to have discipline, clarity, and understanding. You have independence, clarity, and strength. Every hour spent purposely in isolation makes your mind stronger, improves your character, and enhances wisdom, courage, justice, moderation, and learn and practice. Woo! What a beauty. Pretending. Exactly. It's a lot of people pretending. In these days, a lot of people pretending. So the last point I made. So when you're single, you're going to achieve emotional stability. So when you have emotional stability, nobody can sabotage you. Nobody can make you feel anything that you don't want to. So you're ready for a relationship. You learn how to be in the present moment. You're in the present moment. You're in the here and now. You need to appreciate every moment. You don't miss you in the present moment with the people, with the person, with whatever you're doing, work, whatever you're doing, you're in the present moment. And then not only that you're in the present moment, but you appreciate every single moment, every single, you know that it's temporary. You know that this life is like that. Who says that? Solomon in the book of Ecclesiastes. Life is like a vapor and you're gone. You blink and you're gone. And you know that. You know that. One day you won't be here. Okay? Enjoy every single moment. Being single, it gives you a discipline, clarity, and understanding. Because when you're single, you got to do the thing for yourself. You have to learn how to do your own thing, to cook, to do whatever you need. You develop that discipline. You develop clarity. You want goals. You want to do this. You want to travel. You want to save your money. You want to do your energy. You want to work out. You want to go to the gym. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God, you are amazing. And you develop understanding of yourself, the understanding of yourself. The most powerful thing is that knowing thyself and that sense of independence, clarity, and strength. With that, I say pow, you say wow. Pow, wow. How about that? Comment, what would you say to people who are objectively behind? I don't understand. Objectively behind, what does that mean? I don't understand. Objectively behind? I don't know. Make it a little more clear for me because I really don't understand. Okay, any question in Instagram, YouTube? Amen, Christina. Okay, any question? Let me, when you have a big family, okay, Mr. Ali. When you have a big family, take your time, need to work to have time for me. Absolutely, yes. And you let your family know because, and it's all about communication. If you need time, the time for yourself should be a time of exercising or a time, quiet time, and solitude, right? That's too because you want to grow, you want to develop, you want to grow. You don't want to not to grow. You cannot do that. You can't afford that because you will be dead. So you let your family know that exercise is important to you because you're taking care of your health. If you're sick, they're not going to take care of you. Yes, they're going to take care of you for a little bit, but they get bored and they want to do their own thing, and everybody's doing their own thing, and you're in bed taking medication and being depressed. Absolutely no. Be responsible. You let your family know. My family knew from day one that I needed to exercise. So what I did when I was in Massachusetts and my children were little babies, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and I went running in Boston in sleet, snow, rain, storms. I did it because it's a matter of your health. But my health has been a big issue for me from day one. Okay, that's one of my degrees is a professor in PE professor, physical education professor. So for me, my health is important. So my family knew from day one that my health is important to me. So I wasn't interfering with their time, taking them to school, boom, 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 pa, pa, pa. So I went up in the morning when everybody was sleeping. My husband was staying in the house with the kids, and I went and did my thing. 10 miles. At that time, I used to run 10 miles every single day in the cold weather in Boston, Massachusetts. I like to play with say Massachusetts. Christina, no, there is no question. There is no comment about the theme. I want to know what I want an opinion. You conservative Republican women, it is refreshing to hear when conservatives are pushing God wants us to get married, having a lot of kids will make you happy. No, being in a relationship. No, you cannot be. You can if you want to do that. You have to be the perfect person. Not the perfect person, perfect. You know what I mean? But you have to be somebody who has their act together. You just cannot do it just to do it. Oh, I'm going to get married and I'm going to have 500 kids and I don't have a way to support them. That's irresponsible. That is irresponsible. I would not dare to have children when I was in my 20s. I didn't have a profession. I didn't have a career. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It's unfair. You have to do it in consciousness. You have to do it in consciousness. Okay, everybody make their own choices, right? Free country, right? God give us free will. So it's up to you. I mean, I don't have. You want to do it. But in my opinion, I wouldn't. I didn't do it. I had my first child in my 30s, mid 30s. Okay, so because I wanted to study, and I didn't feel that if I don't have money to provide for a decent home for my children, why would I have children? Why? Why? For the government to support my children and support me? No, I don't think so. I'm a person who can work. I have two hands. I have a brain. I can go to school. I can study. And everybody can do whatever they want. But that's my opinion. And I don't think it has to do with any political party. It's just like everybody has their philosophy. Everybody has their thing. But my philosophy is you work on yourself first. You cannot give what you don't have. Work on yourself first. Work on yourself first. There will be two broken people. Thanks a lot. Used to wake up. I think a lot. Usted used to wake up early, but sleep important. How many hours? I go to sleep at 7 p.m. Saludos desde México. ¿De qué parte? Venezuela. I go to sleep at 6 o'clock. So it's 4 o'clock, and about at 6 o'clock I'm in bed. I fall asleep like about 7. No, single is good. Singleness is good. Oh, tea is good. Okay, nobody asks any question. Me voy. I'm leaving. Okay, book. Do you choose to be single? Do you miss being in a... Well, I've been married for 50 years. But I'm being married for 50 years because I'm whole and complete with it myself. My husband is with me, not because I need him and he needs me. We are together for 50 freaking years because he's independent and I am. And that doesn't mean it's an open relationship. Absolutely no. It's integrity, it's respect, integrity and respect. So yes, I'm being married for 50 years, but it has been based on that. He has been in China, Greece, all over the world studying because he likes to study like me. And I will never dare, you can't go to China without me. No, you go to China, go to study because he's the type of person like me, likes to grow in his profession. So we went to India. I studied in India. He's a doctor in alternative medicine. So he travels all over the world learning because he's a learner. He likes to learn like me. So, and that is why I can speak with clarity about relationship because I'm being married for 50 years and it has been based in a relationship based on respect and integrity. Those two factors. You have to respect that person. You have to value that person. You cannot tell that person you cannot go to India. You cannot compete. That bathing suit is too tiny. Hell no. So I'm me and he's there. And we together because we choose to be together. But he doesn't impose on me nothing. And it's all about respect and integrity. You know that? As a person, and we have two beautiful daughters. Well, now they're not children; they're grown-up women. They're in their 40s. But it's about that. It's about integrity, honesty, respect. Those are the values in a real relationship that can last for years because it's a beautiful communion. It's a respect. You know, respect. You don't see this in this life anymore. Respect. You respect that person. Not because you married that person, you're going to not say thank you. Excuse me. Be ordinary. You lose everything because no, absolutely not. Absolutely. You treat me just like you dating me. That's the way it is. Okay? Absolutely not. When did she say she wasn't single? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because I don't share my private life in social media. This is because talking about relationship and that question. But I don't put my daughters. I don't put my husband. I don't because it's my life. If my that has nothing to do with my work. I don't mix work with my family because it's nobody's business. It's just like that. So for everybody, I'm single. Because I'm single. I'm single. You know why I'm single? Because I do everything I tell you to do. I'm single because all that stuff that I just shared with you last week and this week, I do it. I do it. I'm single. It's a beautiful life. Wow. Christina. Wow, 50 years, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because it's just like, because, girl, because I'm single. You thought that I was single because I am. Because I live what I'm telling you to do. Not because, you know what I mean. Freaking. Cristina. Okay, bye. Oh my God, 1:42. 1 hour and 42 minutes. Okay, my friends, video is YouTube. Come to YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment because that helps the channel. Yo creo que las personas ignorantes ven las personas solteras como que nadie los quiere. Exactamente, Caterina Vega. No, mira el video y take care. I'm going to quit here, but I'll be with you in a second. Okay, let me make sure I save this, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you next week. God bless you. I love you. I said pow, you say wow. Pow. Stay single all your life. Even when you have 50 years of marriage, stay single. That's my secret. Petrova. Bye. Bye. Mwah. Okay, and yes, let me make sure we save.